Welcome to Celebrating Act 2. Celebrating Act 2 is the user manual for the second half of your life.
Welcome to Celebrating Act 2. With us today in the center box is our newest contributing expert, Sarah Surritt.
And Sarah, you are the founder and animal behavior training consultant for Get Pawsitive. Welcome.
Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
So what does Get Pawsitive do?
Well, thanks for asking, Art. Great. Get Pawsitive is a positive dog training company. We service pet owners how to train their pups, and from 8-week-old puppies to 10-year-old dogs. And we do this both in person and online. And we've been around for about 10 years. I have a couple, about 3 or 4 gals that work for me, and also go out to the homes and teach classes to the public. So we do a lot of work with rescue dogs and just anybody who brings home a new dog.
Now, Sarah, for Celebrating Act 2, of course, you're talking mostly to people who are over 50, not exclusively, but mostly. And I would imagine you're going to, when you do your reports for us, you're going to, aim them to serve that audience who is dealing with their pets in a whole different way than, let's say, children or a young family might.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot to consider with getting a new dog, depending on your age and your activity level. So I will be definitely suggesting ways to do that and special tips that can help make that transition to bringing a new dog home easy and stress-free, and what to look for, when you bring home a new pup for those who are over 50.
Yeah, well, we all love our pets. And
I have to tell you that I had animals when I was younger, but the most recent pets I had were large turtles that I was babysitting for. Do you train turtles? Because they were very unruly.
What's cool is I've actually personally never trained a turtle. I've trained a lot of different species, but you can train a turtle. And what's very fascinating is the positive reinforcement methods that I use. You can train any species using, understanding really what motivates your learner. So when you find out what motivates a turtle, which maybe you could shed some light on that for me, you can train them.
Well,
So
good. I didn't know you could. Well, good. But anyway, getting back to training, dogs and cats are primarily what our folks will have, our audience. What are some of the main things that somebody who may not be throwing frisbees after their animal to return? What would you suggest kind of animals to look for?
Well, I guess it just depends on your personal preference. So, I work with a range of folks from age 50 to 80. And I would say the first question to ask would be, what kind of activity level do they take on daily? And what do they want to do with their animal? And then that will give you kind of that funnel towards, well, do they travel a lot? There's so many questions that we could dive into. But really understanding what's going to fit their day-to-day routine and activity level. And then we can really pinpoint, well, do they want a cat? Do they want a dog? Do they want a fish? So I'll be sharing a bunch of fun facts and information and what to look for with all those kind of different types of pets for your audience.
Sarah, do I have it correct that some of your first videos will be, in fact, how to pick the right pet for you?
Exactly. Yes. I'm going to do a video on choosing the right pet for you, what to look for, and a small group of series of videos going over different types of pets. So what like I just mentioned, it might be a cat. I've had a guinea pig, and they're pretty low maintenance, although they kind of smell, so really giving you that variety so you can make the best decision for your family in that time of your life.
Yeah, and speaking of different kinds of pets that you've had, you are an animal expert because you have currently have a ranch with a lot of different animals. Am I correct?
Yes, I do. Somehow they've kind of just started to add up over the last 5 years. We have horses and goats and chickens, and I have 4 cats. I have a pet pig. He lives in the house, and then I have a dog as well.
You
Now,
have,
And
don't
wait,
tell
wait,
me.
you have a pet pig in the house? How does
yes,
that work? How does that work out with the cats and the dogs?
they all kind of just coexist. My dog and the pig kind of are, a little indifferent with one another, but I know a lot of people whose dogs and pigs really get along quite well, and are best buddies. But yeah, Toby, he lives in my son Charlie's room, who's 10, and he sleeps in there and he kind of cruises around the house and we let him out to wander and explore in the yard, and he's fun.
Now, you can't tell me that you can train a pig.
You can. You can train
Really?
him. Actually, he's smarter than my dog.
Hey, John, if you can train turtles, you can
Of-
you
I,
can probably train a pig.
and Art, by the way, I never knew you were such a turtle fan.
Well,
That's
I babysat. They were long-term guests. They're gone.
good. All right, so you can train all these animals. I know you've trained your horse. I saw videos of you training your horse. I thought that was pretty interesting. But can you train chickens? I can't believe a chicken will do anything other than peck for food.
Yeah, actually, I had a chicken named Maria who I just recently lost, but she was the smartest chicken of all my hens. And again, you just have to find out what motivates the learner, the person or thing that you are training. And that is going to increase their desire to want to do behavior. So, yeah, Maria would, she would run over, she would come when called, and she would run over and jump up on a perch. And I had taught her to target, which means basically move to a certain object. So I had a red circle target that she would go stand on and get rewarded for. So yeah, chickens are trainable.
Wow, that's interesting. So then I have no fear that you will be able to help us with our cats and our dogs
No fear whatsoever. Yeah, if you can train a chicken and a pig, you can train your cat and your dog.
and a turtle. So, which brings me to my next question, which is you're not just doing training for Celebrating Act Two, because after all, we don't really have the website to do the concentrated lessons that you would do when you are teaching somebody to train their dog. What else are you going to do besides talk about training tips and behavior and
Yeah, I will be actually going over not only some tips for dog training, but also tips on special areas such as health and wellness or fun facts about your pets, as well as some things that fun games that you can play with your dog. Also, things that you should look for, communication with your pet, so you understand how to interact with them better and keep them safe. So there's lots of different areas that we can talk about that don't involve the training how-tos necessarily, but things that are going to increase that relationship with you and your pet.
which is actually harder, training the pet or training the owner?
Well, the
Trick question.
training, yeah, I don't know. No, definitely training the owner because it is about teaching you how to train your pet, and the dog's the easy part. The dog's the easy part. But no, we are training both you and your dog. I'm training you to train your dog. So, but yeah, everybody's got their history of habits. We all do. And so kind of breaking some habits and changing your mindset and what works is sometimes can be tricky. So, yeah.
Well,
Well,
all I know is that I'm a little concerned that my wife, after seeing this, is going to be consulting with you to better train me to to do something. So if you get a call from Linda, recognize it's my wife and tell her that you don't do humans.
I don't do humans.
here, Art.
No.
Here, Art.
Okay.
Sit, Art. Art said
No
it.
promises. What motivates you, Art?
Um, what motivates me is great interviews like we're having today.
There you go.
Good. Well, Sarah, thank you. We're really looking forward to this. Pets are really important to people, I think. They now I read that I don't know if this is true. 6 in 10 people in the United States own a pet. Does that sound about right? 6 in 10?
I believe it. Yeah. And I would say that probably more heavy on the dog side than the cat.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And after all, don't we know that cats actually own the people?
exactly. Right?
Yeah, if you've ever had a cat, we know that's how it works.
Yes.
Yeah, we just think we own them. But they put up with us because they like us. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
good. Well, thank you so much. We're looking forward to your reports, and hopefully we'll see your first videos up in a couple of weeks.
That sounds great. Looking forward to it, you guys.
Before we let you go, how can people get a hold of you directly? Besides
Yeah.
the fact that you're on our list of contributors on the upper right-hand corner of our website, how can we get to your website?
Yes. So you can find me at Get Positive both on Facebook and Instagram, as well as getpositive.com. And that's spelled with a W, like a dog's paw. So PAW.
Get Positive. Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. Good. Sarah, thank you again so much. We're looking forward to seeing you as our regular reporter for all things pets.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, you guys. You guys have a great day.
You too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
For more on Celebrating Act Two, visit our webpage, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and tell your friends. Celebrating Act Two is the user manual for the second half of your life.